Welcome back, Money Circle community. Hope you guys like the Christmas tree.
Festive AF.
That's as good as it gets right there. So I'm going to continue on this theme of vlogging and giving you guys kind of an inside look of what it looks like actively building wealth, because I'm working on multiple different things at once. I have the community. I have my social media that I'm constantly building. Editing this is probably going to take me a little bit of time. But also I have real estate property too, specifically Airbnbs. And in full transparency, I want you guys to know every single thing that happens on this journey, because starting, I don't know how many of you know my story or not, I'll just kind of paraphrase it. I didn't come from having a lot of money. I'm just somebody who got really interested in how money actually works. And the more I learn about it, the more I get fascinated by it. And the more I want to try things, see what works, see what doesn't work. And then if they do work, then I kind of, fill you guys in with what's successfully worked for me. So in total transparency, what I figured I would do is make a video about what it's like to have an Airbnb rental property. This was something that for me, before I got my rental, I had clients that were, and obviously now they're friends, but I had clients who were multimillionaires, and I would always ask them, what is the best wealth piece of advice you have? And what they would always tell me is real estate. You have to own real estate. It only appreciates over time. And if utilized properly, you can make really good money, not only passively, but when you go into the sale of the house too. So I bought my rental property about 3 years ago. And after 3 years of ownership, I wanted to share with you guys what that process is like, because I went from managing the entire property myself, cleaning it, marketing it, taking pictures, communicating with guests, to now it's a little bit more hands-off in year number 3. I do have a property manager, but there are still also little things that come up. So it is a part of business where when you start to expand a little bit and you start to get more seasoned, more things come up. So I want to share that with you again in total transparency, so you guys kind of get an idea of what it's like to have rental property. So let's talk a little bit about what that has looked like for me. So when I first got my rental property, which I do have a video, I'll link it down in the description below, where I did an actual tour of it. When I got it about 3 years ago, the condition of it was I had to live in it per the loan that I got. I had to live in it for 1 year, and then I could start renting it out in year 2. So the first year went smooth. I basically just spent time furnishing it because I knew it was going to be on Airbnb, and then fixing little things with it like baseboards and paint and putting up a backsplash and things that weren't very expensive. All major renovations were done to it. But year 2, which was last year, 2023 technically, was really focused on just keeping the vacancy rates low. We weren't really too much worried about profiting at all. It was just more so, let's keep the vacancy rate low on it so we can get more ratings. And then once we have more ratings, then we can start pushing up the price. And so that first year really wasn't profitable too much. It was just more so kind of, the way I would describe it is, it was like me getting my feet wet in having a rental property. So the first 4 months, I actually did everything myself. I cleaned it. I dealt with the customers. I took pictures. I put it on Airbnb. I did everything. But what I quickly realized is how that's basically like having a second full-time job. So it was like backbreaking, exhausting work. And so by by month 4, I decided, let's bring a property manager in. And that's what I did. And the property manager took over, and they were actually the ones that recommended that I just keep the price low in order to boost my ratings, which is exactly what I did. Now we're in year number 2, and we're worried more about, and I wouldn't even say worried, but we're trying to get that like fine tuning right now of what's the perfect price to keep it occupied, but also maximize the amount of profit that we're going to get. So that's what 2023 has really been driven on, and we've done pretty well. I haven't looked at the numbers for year end right now, so I can't tell you what the profit looks like. But I can tell you on average, roughly I've been making anywhere from like $600 a month to like $1,400 a month in that area. Take home after all of the expenses. So that's what it's been like, but it's always a constant like doing something. So keep in mind that it's not easy. It's like you're constantly having to fine tune and tweak things and deal with new problems to kind of, I don't know, get better and make it more profitable. But I'm going to give you guys a cutaway right now because I actually have to go to the property today. This opportunity actually came up at a perfect time. So since we're talking about the rental, I had to run to my Airbnb property because I had a tenant in there that, let's just say, was an okay guest, but sometimes you hit home runs with guests, sometimes they're subpar. This is one of the cases of subpar. So I have to go in here and basically get supplies, number one, but then number two, buy some things to kind of clean up the house a little bit. So I want to show you guys like what it actually costs me so that you get like a real life, okay, here's what it is. And then, I mean, honestly, after I do this, I'll probably not have to come back for a month or two. So I just ran to the store right now and I bought a bunch of supplies and I spent $80.20. Now that's not counting the hose. So actually I had to buy a hose. So it's more like 125 or something like that. But that gets me cleaning supplies, coffee. That gets me some things that I need to clean up in the house, like air fresheners. And then obviously the hose and things like that. So, oh, and I got some air filters too. That was the other thing. Air filters, you want to replace your air filters in your rental. Just keep it as fresh as possible. Keep your AC not working as hard. But this is pretty much a customary thing that I do about once a month. But yeah. Okay, so update. Usually I'm only at the house for like a half an hour to an hour because it usually isn't that bad. In this case, that person really did a number. That guest really did a number on that house. So it took me 2 hours to clean everything up. There are some things I need to buy, bigger stuff like mattresses and things like that. These are things I would have to buy anyways. So it just came to be that time. But let's say that they had a dog and their dog did a number on that house. So 2 hours is what it took me, but the house is back up ready. And, you know, next guest can check in and there'll be no hitch at all. So after seeing all of that, you guys tell me, would you still own a rental property knowing everything I go through with it? I mean, it really is an up and down type roller coaster. There's great months, and then there's months where, like you just saw a minute ago, I was there for 2.5 hours cleaning up basically a disaster created by one of the guests. So that's part of business though. I'm thankful I have it, don't get me wrong, but let me know what you guys think. Would you still own a rental property knowing everything that I've told you and everything I've shared with you? But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. And I want to thank you guys so much for supporting this channel, continuing to support it. Like I said, my point to these videos is to create more transparency with you. I've based my entire financial career on social media with the idea of total transparency, getting a chance for you guys to go in depth and see what exactly I'm learning, what I'm doing, what action steps I'm taking, what's working, what's not working. That way it's expedited for you and you get total transparency because, I don't know, I want you guys to get raw, uncut, like this is how it is. This is how I'm feeling in the moment. This is what it's taking me because you could see this is exhausting stuff, but it's stuff that I really love and I enjoy sharing with you guys. So I appreciate all the support that you've given this channel. Make sure that you subscribe because I'm going to keep coming at you with more vlogs as much as I possibly can whenever it kind of pops into my head for video ideas like this. But I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week. And thanks again, Money Circle.